The Culture Currency show is for those who recognize that nuance is key. We don't pretend to have all the answers, but we tackle the issues that affect the majority when speaking of Black America. Our discussions are informed by the host's personal experiences and insights, and we're always open to evolving our perspective as we gain new understanding.
This is the story of two friends from the Bronx who decided to get real, be direct, and impact Black culture. Welcome to Culture Currency, where culture is the value.
Good morning.
Peace.
Peace.
How you doing today?
I'm all right, man.
Man,
Rough week.
heavy one?
Yeah.
But you got some celebrations.
Yeah, that's true.
Got some celebrations.
Absolutely. Tribulation is good, though. So much comes out of it,
So
man.
much.
Yeah.
And today I was talking to Sauce about a few things. So I was like, make it smooth.
So you gotta be clear, yo. You gotta be specific.
Make it
smooth, right.
Make it don't hurt too much.
Right.
The media doesn't feel so great,
Right.
but the aftermath
Right.
is where you shine at.
Yeah. And I was looking at the text from my father between Monday and yesterday. Monday was high stressing by yesterday. I said, but it was solid, and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, ebbs and flows. When you're able to see that,
Right,
though,
yeah.
that recovery,
Yeah.
I'm Mahogany.
I'm Ish.
And this is Culture Currency.
What culture
is the value.
Yes, sir.
What we talk about today?
Today we're talking about forgiveness.
Great conversation.
Heavy and great.
Great conversation.
Heavy, light, everything.
And necessary. Super necessary in today's climate.
Yeah. In our everyday lives, man. Forgiveness.
Today's climate is pushing against that. It's
Right.
like everything is now because people know what
Right.
they're doing. Everything
Right.
is, I don't accept the past in my life. And some of those things have merit to them.
Absolutely.
But it's how you're operating in it that changes things, right?
Right. And I remember we talked about something like this before in the cancel culture episode and how the cancel culture is showing up in our families, in our homes. But we're going to go a little deeper today.
Yep.
Yeah.
The first thing I wanted to do was define it.
Yes.
So people get the real identity of the
Yeah,
word.
yeah. I thought the definition was good.
Yeah. So the intentional, voluntary decision to release feelings of resentment, anger, or vengeance towards a person or group who has harmed you regardless of whether they deserve it or not.
Right. So the key part of that when I was reading the definition last night was the releasing of the anger, of the hurt of it. It's not just I forgive you, we good, but it's releasing those feelings that trap you, that keep you down, keep you dark. So I'm like, okay, all right. Because I've been struggling with forgiveness with some things, but it's letting go of that hurt of it. So it's not affecting you.
What's funny is I allowed people to make me believe that I was unforgiving.
Oh.
Everybody puts it on the Taurus, stubbornness, all of that. And I had someone come to me in full accountability with apology and change behavior and literally was able to pull them back in. And it told me, no, I have no problem with forgiveness.
Yeah, I never got that
People
from you.
have a problem
But
with accountability.
yeah.
And why would I get to a place of welcoming with somebody who has not made amends?
Yeah, because the thing is, you just want to keep doing it again. So why do I want you around?
Exactly.
Yeah, what's the point?
Exactly.
What's the point? So Dominique said, apology accepted, access denied. I love that. I don't think I ever heard that before, but I'm sure it's a thing, right? Apology accepted, access denied. And that's what it's about. It's like, but is it really apology? Like, I don't have to accept anything. I'm just not hurt anymore.
Forgiveness means that you've let go of any feelings that held you trapped in that situation.
Right. Because when you're holding anger against somebody else, it's really affecting you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about two situations where one, I'm hurt. And I'm not over it yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not over it yet. I'm hurt. So if I did get a call from this person, it's not going to be just forgiven. I'm not to that point yet. I'm still confused about it. I don't understand.
I'm confused. I don't understand. That's why I'm constantly driving in these conversations, right? I'm constantly driving in the openness to have a discussion, whether you have a disconnect with someone or you're in turmoil with someone or not, because that is really a large part of healing,
Right.
regardless of the forgiveness of your actions. The understanding of it, the being able to communicate it. I may not forgive what you did, but I appreciate the fact that you took the time to handle me with care, with a conversation, to give me the information I need and deserve.
That's true, because everybody doesn't get that from everybody. Right. So you show me some value. I mean, even though I know I'm valuable, but you show me the value in your life by taking the time to do that.
Exactly. And that's why I keep driving that, even though there's a lot of conversation around. Don't bring that negativity in your life. That whole conversation, it can be foolish.
Because the point is to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how that conversation plays out will determine, how you move forward. You know what I mean? But the conversations be necessary, because sometimes it's harder to get to a place of forgiveness when you have so many questions.
Right.
When you can't see your level of accountability in a certain situation because you don't have the information to do so.
Absolutely.
Right.
So that's good, because one thing that to always remember, and as a communication facilitator, is always two perspectives. So even though I'm hanging on to this hurt and kind of refuse to let it go at the moment, and I'm happy that we having this conversation. I'm like, yeah, people got to do it. I ain't doing it because I ain't ready. You know what I mean? But hanging on to deciding to hang on. But actually, it's not deciding to. It's just fresh, and I'm not over it.
It is a decision. You choose to hold on to something or choose not to. Saying everything takes time. Not really. Everything doesn't take time. Like, oh, it takes time for people to... No, you make a decision and then you do the actions that stick to that decision, and it's an immediate transition.
For example, what you just said to me, it took time, but like 30 seconds, right? You like, no, it is a decision. So I'm like, oh, so the decision could be, you know what? I don't understand. But when we finally talk, I'll be open to it to see what's going on and what led to that. And now, like just in seconds, I'm not even lying and trying to act like, nah, I feel lighter, but I do. But just that mindset is like, you know what? If you hold it like that, then then you can, first of all, you can open up the universe to be open to that, for that to come, have the conversation, see what's up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That I got from the Love Snobs. Because I was someone who was very closed off. I'm like, you know what you're doing? Like you grown. Like we super grown.
Right.
There's no way.
Right.
And so I was closed off to things. And going through the process of the healing and the understanding, it helped me to understand, if I keep this mindset, that mindset has to also echo in my direction, right?
Yeah.
You make error too.
Absolutely.
Right?
Oh.
You make error too. And when you feel like it's actually an error, you want to be forgiven.
Yeah.
Right? And you want the opportunity at least show that it wasn't an intentional scenario. Right? So what you want, you got to be able to offer.
Damn. Okay, in the movie you told me about exhibiting forgiveness, the mother said, if you can't forgive, that means you can't be forgiven. And that's basically
that. And that's that's exactly a translation of what I just said.
Yep. The conversation is important for not just forgiveness, but some healing, some understanding, and then also perspective.
Absolutely.
Because you may not always see your part. Most times, both parties were impacted, but you only see the way you were impacted.
Another thing from that movie that I had wanted to discuss, the son was saying, you say that me watching you abusing yourself made me a better father. You beating made me a better father. Watching you put your hands on my mom made me a better father. And now you want me to thank God for that? That part stuck out for me because I'm on the other side of all of my pain. And so on the other side of the pain, you're able to see not only the bruises, but what came from the bruises.
Right.
The statement that the young man is making is like, you want me to be thankful for this process, even though it was super abusive. And what I would say is, you're not thankful for the abuse. You're thankful for what came from the abuse. All of us have gone through things that were hard, that hurt, that scarred us, that we live with to this day. But we also have stories of, if this didn't happen,
Right.
then this part wouldn't be.
Right. I'm sure he didn't want to hear from the person who caused the harm.
Absolutely.
Like, you can't cause my harm and then tell me how I should be thankful for it. So if you want to tell somebody like, yeah, but at least this came from it, save that. You'd be like, but just think like how well you turned out. I'm sorry that I hurt you, but don't tell me how your abuse made me better.
The accountability portion can't be skipped. It has to be an acknowledgement of wrongdoing,
Right.
An apology for wrongdoing,
Right.
and it has to be a pledge to never do it again.
Right.
Before you start talking like healing needs to be happening now.
However, the point that you made is so true. We talked about that in another show. Like, how do we grow without the pain, without the trials and the tribulations? You don't grow in the sweet times, right? That's when you're comfortable. So things have to get rocky. You have to experience some pain to say, oh, this is how I would do it again next time. You know what I mean? And when you get to that point when you're able to assess things like that, you can say, you know what? But you know what? I'm very grateful for that experience because it made me this.
Yeah. I could never say I'm grateful for the experience. I would have to find different dialogue because I've had some very horrendous things happen in my life. But what Source created from that carnage is like, it's like I always tell people, I walk through hell to get to heaven. It's an example of that, right? You have to go through it to get to the other side.
Absolutely.
And so that's what that reminded me of. But right before we started talking about the movie, you made a statement that made me think about the micro and macro. The difference between the two when you come down to the severity of forgiveness, what garners forgiveness and what make it harder. What I would say is macro is horrendous behavior, like a violation of sorts. Right. And then the micro would be error.
Right.
Everything is a spectrum.
Right. Hold everything at the same level. That's a good point.
It's really a heavy place to stand when you have this all or nothing
black
in regard
and white.
to, well, I'm a black and white personality, right?
Does that mean that's good?
But yes, it is, because I'm a decision maker, I'm a leader.
It's no spectrum.
We actually understand the spectrum, but we got to make decisions for the masses.
I was just thinking about somebody that I know that's black and white, because you have more, still have more flexibility than this person. That's black and white. Everything is just cut dry, and it's like not a lot of through life, like not a lot of empathy in there with that.
With the healing process and also the learning process, you get to identify that gray area a little differently, right? So you understand the necessity of the black and white.
Right.
But you understand also the necessity of the acknowledgement of the gray.
Right.
So it's not necessarily that
you're
living in the gray.
Right.
But you're always keeping that in mind.
Absolutely. Okay,
because there's always an exception to the rule.
Right.
That's what I was
But not
talking
just
about.
living in exceptions, everything just accepted.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm black and white, but I'm a fair person.
So that's what I'm talking about. And that's it right there. It's about being fair. And like you said, understanding that there is a gray, but you don't just live in the gray. You have to make definitive decisions, right? Because like you said, because decisions affect a lot of people, not just you. And if you're unable to make decisions, it's going to affect a lot of people. So I'm thinking about, I had two different accounts that's recent, and one is, you said a violation and one is a mistake. So one is maybe a mistake, we'll see. And the other one is a straight up violation. However, the straight up violation, I'm forgiven. You just can't get in here no more.
Got you.
You understand
And
what I'm
that's a
saying?
conversation
You just can't
to go
get in
forward.
here no more. And I don't even like the reach outs because it do something real quick, but then it's gone. But you can't get in here no more. But I'm happy that we're making the things because the mistake can't be held the same way as that violation.
Absolutely
And
not.
we get into that. As you get older and mature, you start like, I don't got time for
You're working from a pain space.
Right.
It's not necessarily a healthy boundary.
Right.
It's just, I don't want to feel this no more. And so the wall gets so high that you don't feel nothing.
You know what? That's really good. And I'm just thinking about the development stages. You know how when you're middle school, you kind of erratic, trying to figure yourself out. And then in high school, still trying to figure yourself out, but it's in a different stage than when you're in your younger teens. But by the time you get to our age, you had enough of certain things. So I think there's also a growth thing there where it's like you're playing with what your boundaries are now and figuring that out based on all those experience. How do you keep certain people out, let certain people in, figure out what that final circle is for the next 30, 40 years of your life. I think is still like as adults, figuring out who we are in this stage.
It goes back to the discussion portion. No passive aggression can live in this space, right? So it's very necessary to be assertive with what you understand you want your world to look like.
Yes.
And what cannot be in that space,
Yes.
right? And who's bringing what, what that looks like, how that affects your world,
Right.
and be direct with people and letting them know, like, we don't do this here.
Right. This don't work.
This don't work here.
Right.
So it's either change behavior or hit the exit.
Right.
The fact that you are being verbal, you're being fair because you're giving someone the opportunity to make a choice.
Right.
You're giving them the information that they're able to utilize to make an effort or not.
Right.
Right? So I think that's the biggest part when it comes down to, the communication portion of forgiveness, right? We speak about this all the time, the ghosting and the disappearing and the not really being honest about what you feeling,
And clear.
but you're feeling it.
Right.
And the person is in limbo,
Like, what
not
happened?
understanding what happened.
Right.
Because
You feel like
it
they
came
know.
out of nowhere because you feel like you know better.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we don't have these discussions, and then we feel like we could just exile you.
Right.
And we're in the right. No,
Right.
now both of us is wrong.
Right. Because then you also may expect other people to exile that person when you ain't even deal with it.
It's a spillover
Yup,
effect. It's
yup.
definitely a spillover effect, but also you ain't deal with it, so now you're taking the carnage from that,
Yup.
and you adding it to the rest of your carnage, your wall getting bigger. Now somebody who did something less is
Right.
getting the boot because you ain't dealt with that.
Because your bag is too full, it's too heavy.
Facts.
Right. There was another thing I thought about from that, from the film, Exhibiting Forgiveness. And it was that something that came from it was forgiveness isn't always about you. Right? So tell me how you feel about this. So in the film, the son, he had a hard time forgiving his father for, all his transgressions against him and all that, the abuse and all that. And I think it was his brother that said, but this forgiveness isn't about you, it's about mommy, right? So forgiving the father to bring peace to the mother, and also so the son can have a chance to have a relationship with his grandfather. So how do you? I was curious to know how you feel about those kind of situations where your forgiveness can
Affect the whole.
Right.
Well, everything that you do affects your village, right? But that goes both ways. So the same way his forgiveness or lack thereof can affect his village, the father's actions affected the village.
Absolutely. Good
Right?
point.
So it's a double-edged sword because it's like, yes, you want to be able to forgive and kind of allow for a different level of connectivity with the extensions of you, right? But do I believe that you actually have changed your behavior?
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because if you've wounded me, I'm not letting you wound my kid.
Right, exactly. And
Right?
I'm not going to just accept
and my
it.
mother's grown. And if she's deciding that she wants to be wounded, that's hers,
Decision.
not mine.
Yes.
Right? So that becomes a larger conversation because at the end of the day, especially as a father, he's the leadership of his tribe. He has to protect his kid.
Yep.
Right? And although he wants to protect his mother has been with the dad before he existed.
Right.
So she's making the decisions upon
All of
their
those things.
scenarios.
That's right.
And if we really look at it, dad did all of this to me. She's still with him.
Right.
At what point was she thinking about me when it came down to decision making?
Yo, that's you just broke it down beautifully, and it just make me think about something that happened today. So we had a specific shoot time. We had a specific window. I had a family member that's like, "Oh my God, this is going on with me. Da da da. Where you at?" I'm like, "Over here. Come get me." I'm like, "Nah, I gotta be somewhere like in 20, 25 minutes. I'm gonna be late." "Yeah, but I'm just right here. Just come get me." And when I said, "Wow," or something, people, they only think about them, and as far as they can see what they need. If it throws you off, if it throws off your emergency, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So it's really important, even with forgiveness, that you think about the whole entire effect that it has on you, and you can't just think about everybody. I mean, of course you have to think about everybody and unpack, but the way you broke it down is, yeah, but What about me?
Everything starts with you. Everything. It was a post about loyalty. The post had something to do with loyalty to others while disregarding self. And I said, that's not loyalty though.
Right.
Loyalty always keeps you intact. My message was, well, if you're not being loyal to you, it's not loyalty.
Right.
Because it's loyalty to your belief system. You know what I
starts
mean?
with you.
It starts with you.
Right.
So any action that I take has to be filtered through my belief system.
Right. Outside of that, it's something else.
Outside of that, I'm moving for you.
Right.
And I'm
Forgetting,
I'm
abandoning
forgetting
me.
about
It's called, it's
myself.
not loyalty, it's abandonment.
Self-abandonment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's important that people understand that. So as we speak about forgiveness, that also starts with us. Like, okay,
Right.
as I'm filtering this scenario, this current scenario through my belief system, I believe that I can have a conversation to see if any more information comes out to sway where I'm at in this moment. But ultimately, how I end up goes by way of my principles, right? Was this a violation? Was it a mistake?
Right.
Was this intentional or was it not?
Right,
That's the
right.
difference.
That's
Was
the
this
difference.
intentional or
Right.
was it not?
Right.
Is this something that we can get over? Is this something that this person can change? Can I trust this person anymore after this?
Exactly.
Like all of those things come into play when you
Yes.
start dealing with forgiveness. But
Right.
forgiveness as a whole is about being able to let go of the feelings attached. Like it took me, the reason and I'm gonna let you speak because I feel like I'm speaking.
No,
for a
I'm
long
good
time.
listening to all of this because I'm grappling with it right now.
It took me a very long time to get to a level of forgiveness from my last relationship. That's why for so many years I was single, didn't want to have any activity because I was like, yo, I'm not bringing this into nobody else's world.
Right, right.
But I was
That was
struggling
nice.
with forgiving that person because I was like, the intent threw me.
Got it.
I couldn't understand how I chose somebody who would be intentionally ugly.
Right. So that's one of the things I did think about, and we spoke about this before. Is forgiveness for others? Do it first start with forgiving yourself? Because there are mistakes that we've made that impacted us, impacted other people, like sometimes for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? So, have you spent the time to actually forgive yourself from the mistakes to the intentional violations? Have you taken the time to really to sit with
Unpack that.
Yeah, unpack it and forgive yourself. And then if you're able to do that and not hold on and like, damn, I can't believe I did that. Oh my God, like yo, I'm a sucker for that. Yo, whatever you did, or damn,
We
if I didn't
all
do
have
this,
sucker moments.
Yeah, we all have sucker
We
moments.
all have sucker moments.
Facts.
Like whether it was intentional or not. Sometimes in hindsight, you like, that was
like,
ew.
yeah, why did I do that?
Ew,
Yeah, like
right?
that would have happened to me.
It's the recovery that counts, right? It's the recovery that counts. Once you spill the milk, it's spilled. Are we cleaning it up? Are we leaving the residue to dry out? Right? So it's a matter of how you recover. And with the situation that I was just talking about, I was able to, once I took the accountability for all of my choices within the matter,
Exactly.
is when I was able to actually heal and be like, I'm open to everything else.
Exactly. Period. Period.
So we've hit our benchmarks.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been leaving those jewels throughout the show in regard to instruction on how to be forgiving. But would you like to leave them with something solid on a forgiveness
I'll
space?
try because I do have something to say, but it's not like a
ahead.
clear nugget. One thing that that came up for me in this discussion is it's times when we say, I don't care. You know what I mean? But is that what your gut is telling you, or is that what you're just saying? You know what I mean?
That's protection.
Yeah, that's protection. Yeah. So for your own free heart, consider the conversations consider forgiveness. And when we say forgiveness, we mean the true definition of it.
Yeah, not the inviting in.
Yeah. Not the access.
I mean, you can leave that as a possibility, but that's not what forgiveness is.
Right, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about consider letting go of the hurt, the pain, the anger.
All of the things. When forgiveness is stated, that is not about the other person, it's because it frees you. So we want to give you the freedom by giving you the information on how to forgive and make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
Everything should not be sore to the touch.
Right.
And the every time you feel like if this person pops up in your feed, you feeling away. If you see this person somewhere, you feeling away. You heard this person says something, somebody brings up this person's name, you feeling away.
Right.
I don't care what you're talking about. You not only did you not forgive, but you care.
But you care. Oh.
You care.
Got him.
You know what I mean? So I think we did it.
Yeah, I think it's good. I'm gonna tell you, and I do feel lighter about a situation. I was holding on to the pain. Like I'm gonna hold it different.
Good.
I'm gonna hold it different.
Good,
yeah,
good,
yeah.
good.
See what happens.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
I'm Mahogany,
I'm Ish.
and this is Culture Currency.
For culture,
Is the value.
make sure to like, share.
Subscribe and comment.
Peace.